So I had the unfortunate privilege of growing up with a mom who has some sort of undiagnosed mental illness. Basically, she's kind of like a compulsive liar, but she believes her lies, I think. So she's like delusional. Like, for example, she says that she's a registered nurse. That's public record. Also, I lived with her and was like, I know that she didn't go to school or work in a hospital or do all these things that she said that she did. Things like that, okay, but it never ends. It never ends, dude. And one of the things was she kind of gypsy roasted me, okay? She always had medical issues, and then her dogs would have medical issues, and then I had so many medical issues and allergies and diseases. I had lupus. I had Raynaud's disease. Bro, she would take me to a children's cancer doctor because it was like the only dude in town that would continuously blood test me to see if my lupus was flaring up. And one day as an adult, I was like, I'm going to go down there and get my records. It's literally just pages and pages of, mother says that she tested positive before and now it's negative and everything's cool. I would literally go there and get vials and vials and vials and vials of blood taken, and to the point where I have like a vein phobia now. Like, I can't even think about veins. So, all of this to say, I had autism before it was cool. And that is something that still confuses me because, okay, back in the day, what I should say is nowadays, like, people are very accepting about autism. And I do be having some traits of autism, but especially when I was a kid, dude. I hated wearing socks because I didn't like the seam touching my toes. I would either just not wear socks and like literally be growing mold and shit in my shoes. This is so embarrassing. Or I would wear long tube socks and I would wear them inside out so the seam is on the outside, and then I would pull them long off of the toe and fold it back and then slip on my shoe so that it's like folded back so that there's no seam. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I was autistic when it like wasn't cool at all, and it was like actually really embarrassing, and now that it's cool, I'm not anymore. Okay, let me explain. So my mom like really wanted me to be autistic, like so bad. And she would always ask like my schools to like talk to me and see if I was autistic. And then one day she was like, you know what? She brought me, okay, hold on. She brought me to like this like these different therapists, and two of them seemed to not give her the answer she wanted, and they had me go to this like testing facility where I was tested for 8 hours with a 30-minute break in the middle. I was 8 years old, by the way, and I was tested for 8 hours. They tested my grip strength. They tested if I could do like basic math. They tested like so much, and at the end of it, they said that I wasn't autistic. But then she started saying that they said I was a genius, and I don't think they said that. So then one time, she had me tested again, right? And it was at my high school. I was a freshman, and I was currently dabbling in spice. And this particular morning, I was trying out some bath salts. It was basically supposed to be like fake skiing, okay? So it really didn't do much. It wasn't crazy. Like, it just like kind of perked me up a little bit, made me a little bit more social. And I didn't know that I was about to be called to the office in this particular morning and be tested for autism. And like the crazy thing is, okay, so what happened is they didn't even test me. They just talked to me, right? It was like the school counselor. I don't even know if she was qualified to like do this, but she called me in, and here's what she does. She goes, hey, I just wanted to like talk to you. And then she goes, by the way, I'm going to leave my cell phone on the table, just so you know, like, it's because my sister's in the hospital and I just want to make sure I answer it if anyone calls me. And I, especially as a teenager, was such an awkward, unsocialized person that normally I wouldn't have said anything. I would have been like awkward and been like, oh, like, okay, you know what I mean? But on this particular day, I was on bath salts. I was like having a good time. I was actually being the social person that I always wanted to be. So I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about your sister. I hope she's okay. I said the thing that I was supposed to say. I said it. My brain worked in that moment, okay, because of the bath salts. And then she tells me, okay, so I think it was like a test. I don't think this bitch had a sister, okay? Because at the end, she's like, yeah, your mom thinks you're autistic, but normally an autistic person wouldn't they wouldn't like think to say like, oh, like, sorry about your sister, so therefore I don't think you're autistic. And I was like, oh, bet. Did she have a sister? Am I autistic? Did the bath salts cure my autism? I guess we'll never know.